Okay, grade 12s. Welcome, you guys had a good weekend? Oi, oi, oi. Sounds like it. Alright, still a bit tired, and it's the start of the week. It is our last civil that we're going to do together before we get into a 2-point perspective. So I'd like us to make sure you are up to speed with this. Now, I'm going to focus for this lesson not on the floor plan, but more on the elevation and the sectional elevation that is required as part of this drawing. So first of all, when you get a question like this, you're going to familiarize yourself, of course, with what is given and make sure you have understanding of all the components. Remember, you can know and be sure that every part of this drawing, what is given here, is going to be for your information. Okay, so hier's niks op hierdie bladsy wat per toeval hier is, kamma hier is, vir die grap hier is hy. Nee, jy moet dit verstaan. Nothing on here is just by accident. You need to take note of it and apply that. So on the first floor plan, of course, it's incomplete, but there's quite a lot of details. Electrical details here. You've got placement of fixtures. You've got a section detail here. You've got a roof line here. And then notes speaking to those different components. Then directly on top of that, they help you out there. They have your elevation. Right, so incomplete south elevation indicated here. Placement of the window, the door, and an incomplete roof detail. I actually have children that draw this with the roof like this, incomplete. Okay, remember this is incomplete, so you have to complete it. Plus details of the roofing, fascias, gutters, etc. Then there's also positioned for you your incomplete foundation, external wall detail. Pay attention to the 25mm screed that's added here and the placement of the ground level as well as different heights up to wall plate. And then you've got your window and doors. What is the B? The B is the hinge side. Okay, A is the open side and that C says it's a fixed panel. Nee. So jou handvatsel gaan by A wees, jou skanier is by B en C is net 'n toeruit wat nie oopgemaak kan word nie. Maak net sin daarvan. Then you've got your fixtures with these different details. You've got your roof components with each sizes. You've got your electrical symbols. And then you've got a bunch of roof notes that needs to be used in your actual drawing. Alright, and then the last one is the roof designation. So what they ask you to do is to complete the floor plan to scale 1 to 50. North elevation to scale 1 to 50, and then using corner B, you're going to do a foundation up to roof height of, to the top of the roof at scale 1 to 20. Alright, so let's jump over to the actual drawing that was given. Now I said I'm not going to do the floor plan for you. The previous video clearly explained and walked you through all of this here. But we are going to need it to draw our south elevation. So let's get started on that one. Alright, first of all, just make sure your drawing board is lined up. Your paper is lined up with your actual lines here. Okay, now we're going to draw up here a south elevation. If you look at the north-south arrow, then this is the south elevation here. If I stand here and I look against it, I'm going to see that window, going to see this entrance, going to see this roof end here, and that rainwater downpipe and gully at the bottom. So I'm going to be projecting upward. And your 30-60 degree triangle works best because it's nice and tall. You're going to project upward, starting on the outside here, that roof line. That's where you're going to start. And what I don't want to, my advice to you is, not necessarily to draw that line all the way from the bottom to the top, but rather keeping it in line and just, it's going to be part of the roof. So I'm just doing that guide there on top because at the bottom there's going to be other details. Now the wall, the outside of that wall, yes, that one I'm going to have to project up because it's the wall on the outside. Then if you look at the details here, there's an inner wall there. So that we're going to project up. Each one of these, we are going to project upwards. That window, of course, would have been drawn in. I'll do that in a moment. And then those also. So let's just copy that up to the top and get ourselves started here. The door frame. Bring that up, that door frame as well. Inner wall at the bottom. And then again a roof overhang, so just on the top there to help me out. We'll do the window last. outer wall roof overhang. Alright, I'm going to put this floor natural ground level line right at the bottom as close as we can. The previous time we did this, we gave us too much space and our roof didn't fit in. So make sure that first line is right below, on top of that south elevation. Let's quickly do the window that goes in here. It's scale 1 to 50 and that window is W3, which is 1700. So just find your correct scale here. And that's 1700. So that's going to be, remember they're trying to catch you out. You're going to have to put that in the middle of this block. And I'll draw that in quickly. There's our window. And that gap there we will have to fill. There will always be a gap that they're checking that you do the pencil fill. And then in the middle of those walls, your 1 millimeter gap. And so it's that I'm going to project up for the window. Okay, well now we can almost go home because half of this drawing is done. We're going to now be using the information that's given here to complete this view. We're going to pay attention to the fascia, the gutter, the fascia boards, the stops, the 50 mm above the gully. So that's the stop of that water down pipe. Height of the finished floor level, we're going to have to determine that here. If you look at the natural ground level, then there's a 400 plus that 25 to get to the top of the finished floor level. So just pay attention to that. And then the height of the window, that's a hack. Luister gou mooi. The top of that window is always at the top of the, they don't tell you the height of that window, but it's on top of the door. And so the door height, do they give that somewhere? Well, we know that as 2000 if it's not given. Okay. Alright, let's get started on that one. There's our first stop is our finished floor level. So that's 400. Remember, this is now still scale 1 to 50. So 400 up here. That is our finished floor level, so we can draw that in all the way through. Okay, and then our height of that wall to the bottom of, from the top of that, or from the top of the concrete to there, it's 2600 to the bottom of the wall plate. Okay, we're going to do a construction line just going all the way through there for that record. Okay, now the inside, the outside of that wall is there, and the outside of the wall is there. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to get the pitch of this roof drawn correctly. Okay. Okay, so they also give you, if you look at this, they give you this point from the, these various points from the roof plan. Sien julle daai punte van die dakplan? Ek het so 'n bietjie. Daar is die dakplan. Okay, so I'm going to need these dots to get this corner on the top, and that angle is going to be the 20 degrees that they've given us. Where's that roof plan now? Roof notes, sorry, there it is, 20 degrees, that's the roof pitch. Okay, so that is from the inside. So if I've gotten the inner wall there, I just have to bring that up as well. Okay, although that's not going to be a dark line eventually, there it is. Okay, so the 20 degrees starts there, and it's going to come all the way up to in line with that. So you can bring that up. Same on this side, and then the center here, that one you also project up here. Okay, so let's get to our 20 degrees next. And we're going to build up this roof now. Ons gaan hom nou opbou. Hy's nou nie, hulle gee nie vir ons hierdie nie. So ons gaan hom opbou. That's a 20. Let's do a construction line. This is the bottom of the actual roof truss there. That's the bottom of it. And the other one runs all the way from this end. 20 degrees. Okay, now if you've done the roof truss before, let me zoom in for you to help you out here. I don't want you to get lost. Okay, just consider this for a moment. It's a 114 by 38, okay? So perpendicular to that, you do your 114. We're just getting the different heights now, and I think some of you are going to say, I know what we're doing here. That is the bottom of the roof truss. So there's the roof truss running. Then what goes on top of that? The purlins. And that purlin is a 75 by 50. And then there's a corrugated iron sheet on top of that. So we're just doing the spacing here to get our spacing right. And then there's our top of the roof truss, okay? All right. Now the overhang goes up to that point. Okay, let's do the, remember this is actually on the inside of the roof, so you're not seeing this part, but it's just for us to get our height correctly drawn here. Is julle by my? Julle nog by of nie by nie? Nee, dis die dakkap, ons die dakkap daar gaan teken. Jy sien daai ondersteun, daar's ook 'n 114. I think now it will start making sense. Do you see that? So we just done that in construction, okay? But we're wanting to finalize the end of this, okay? So the overhang has been brought from the bottom. Daar's die oorhang. There you see it, okay? So that's the end of it. We're going to just draw our end there. Okay, then we're going to have our gutter on the outside. That fascia there is a what's the fascia? 200, okay? So from the bottom of our ridge, sorry. Okay, this roof cap and the ridge cover, do they say anywhere the size of the ridge cover? Okay, they know where I see where they actually specify that width, okay? It's actually on the top, it's that cover running on top of it, okay? So let's just do that. Just make sure in principle that is a double line. There's the top of it. Okay, and we'll do a double line at the bottom. When it comes down here. Okay, there's the overhang. Okay, we're going to have our gutter on that end. That gutter is 150 by 100. So 150 here. With 100. Okay, so I just want to get my lines right. There's the gutter. Okay, then behind it is the 200 fascia. Okay, that's better. Okay, so that gutter here, just look at this quickly from the bottom. That gutter runs, remember this water falls in all directions, okay? And so that gutter runs on the front and on the side. And so that's why we have that gutter coming around the end there. Does that make sense to you? Okay, that gutter runs around, it comes to the front. It's going to go all the way through. If you look here on the front, it's going to go all the way through. All this is slanted, so it's going to go all the way through here, here, and around there. Okay, so what you can do is this line you can draw all the way through to the end there. We'll add one or two other parts in it, but that gutter runs all the way around it. Okay, that fascia also at the bottom. Okay, that first line that we drew, we still have to add that thickness to it. Okay, so that was about 200. Come back here. Okay, all right, let's just look at this end here, because we have in fact two sides coming together at this center point. I've already projected that up. It's this line here, so that's going to have in the center, it's going to have in the center there a line. Okay, and then it's coming to the other side, so there's the one pitch. Okay, you can use your compass to double check it, but that should work. That side should work with that side. Okay, and then on the inside there, there. Okay, that's the front of it. And then remember that gutter is running around this corner. That gutter comes and then it runs around. So if I take this up, this corner I've brought up earlier, it's right here. Then just to the side of it, I'm going to make that end of that gutter. Maak dit vir julle sin? Daai geet hardloop mos nou om hierdie hoek. Dan kom hy om, dan kom hy weer vorentoe. So that line is the 150 from this first line. Okay, I want to check that. Right, then in line with that, there's a line for the fascia, there's a line for the fascia. Come around, same thing on this side. There's the overhang. And there's the end of that fascia again. Okay. Right, the top of that roof is then complete. Let me just quickly rub out some of this to clarify it a little bit. Okay, so you have a double line on this side. Just want to complete this double line on this end. Okay, so we have the ridge running all the way on this side. This that we see here, this part is in fact this front. Okay, and then that part is that double line there. Then we have on top the ridge running, that's that double line there, and then it comes down back. That's the end of the fascia. It's in line with the line that's shown here, but the gutter wraps around it. That gutter runs all the way to the front. There it wraps around again. It's coming here. So that gutter is technically here on the outside, running like this. Sien julle dit? Okay, it's that corner that we see here. Okay, and then the two steps back is that fascia. Then it runs to the front here, and then that gutter runs again around the corner. That's why it's that step that we see here again. Maak dit vir sin? Okay, then our Okay, there's two pillars here with a step, so this pillar runs from the bottom up, up, up. In the middle there's a step here. A door, that is 200. Okay, this window, the height of that window is 1250, and there's 3 parts to it. So okay, when we draw the window, okay, remember always you're going to have a window sill here, as a vensterbank, nie om vergeet nie. And then the opening of those windows, we've got a fixed panel here, but in the middle here, there's a hinge. That's a fixed panel, so this one gets the hinge. Ek dink die dak hier is amper jou moeilikste deel. The roof isn't easy, and I think that's kind of what you can expect here with this. That roof is not going to be easy. Alright, then directly below you've got your gutter and your gully, so that you can also bring up. Okay, there's that gutter and gully. That line we can actually move that line there. Got our end and our gully. Okay, and they said that stops 50 millimeter above the gully. Okay, here you have to enter your finished floor level. Please don't do it freehand. Okay, voltooide vloervlak. You have to write natural ground level. Okay, natuurlike grondvlak. But that's done. That view is done. Is there any questions on the roof? Did you guys understand what we did? We determined this point on the inner wall to get our 20 degrees, and then just like any roof truss, because look here, on a roof truss, what do we have to add? It was this point that I determined with this line, so I have to add that height plus the purlin height to get to that. Ek kan nie net daai die bokant maak nie, okay? And it's this point that we determined here, and then did the first 20 degrees. Are you with me? Yes or no? And then we added the different components of that roof to get to the outside height. 15 to 20 marks. But you can draw it. You can draw it, because the only thing that you have to remember is on this inner wall that you have to bring up, and that's where your 20 degrees starts. That's where 20 degrees starts. Yes or no? And it's that 20 degrees that you've drawn that you have to add to get to that top. And it's this distance. That's that distance here. Ja.
Meneer, die afstand van die voltooide vloervlak tot daar waar ek 20 grade begin. Is dit die afstand tussen hierso by die vloerplan, is dit die afstand tussen die voltooide vloervlak en die
2600.
Ja.
Ja. Enige ander vrae oor hierdie vloerplan? Ag, oor die elevasie? Ja.
Effektief gaan dit net
Meganies, ja. Okay, just any questions on this specific question? All right. Then you're going to go to the right-hand side, and they give you, now they ask you to draw this sectional elevation, but you're using the cutting plane that's given here. Nee? Daar's jou snyvlak. So you're cutting, you're gonna, yeah, they actually, oh, they are good. Look at this one. This is so good. When I draw the window, look at where this cutting plane is. If I do my window correctly, I'm going to actually draw my window in here. Onthou julle dit? So is this cutting through the window of or the wall? Yo! You see? But the child that doesn't realize that and don't do that part is going to cut the window. You waste time and you're going to lose marks. So look at that cutting plane. Exactly it's actually cutting through the wall. Okay? And there's all the information. I just need to draw scale 1 to 20. And then the roof details are actually 1 to 2. So let's get down here. I'm going to quickly see if I can get that. That's 200 here. Scale 1 to 20. I'll just do the heights quickly. There's a 200. And then there's a 420 to get to from here it's 420 to get to the natural ground level. And then there's from here a 400 up. And then there's 100 back to get to the foundation or the floor. Okay. Okay, and the width of this is 600. Okay, this is the outside. This is the inside. Okay, that's the natural ground level here. Here's the concrete going through to the middle. Top of that is a 25mm screed. This line gets to go all the way here. So look at that, how quickly we've done the first part. What's missing? There's a DPC that runs chip, chip, chip. So right now, add your label. Finish floor level. Natural ground level. DPC. Dan vergeet jy dit mos nou nie. Okay? Our hatching triangles. We're going to do 45 now. Here we have the compacted fill. That's at 45 degrees. Okay? Here we have the undisturbed fill. 3 lines. I'm reminded myself. Same on this side. Okay. Nou is ek klaar. Kan om my 45 grade doen. Dan gaan ek op al die pad tot bo. Now I'm going to just measure 260. Yes, you're welcome. 2,600. That's to the bottom of the wall plate. Okay. So let's quickly get to this roof because this is the important part. That's the wall plate. Okay, that's the wall plate. So in the middle here, 114 by 38, scale 1 to 20. Okay, degrees here is 20, ne? That's the wall plate resting there. Then we've got a 20 degrees from this corner. Going in this direction. So that's our first line that we draw when we draw a roof truss. Yes or no? Okay. Then perpendicular to that, the 114, that's 100. That's about 6.5 millimeters. Okay. Parallel to it, you can use your ruler and just slide it if necessary. Triangles and just slide it. There's a construction line. Okay. Then there's a 75 purlin on top of that. Okay. Yes, alright, the overhang here, if I go back to what was given, that was 400 overhang, so scale 1 to 20, there's my 400. Okay, we'll do that just now. That's our fascia board that's going to be here. Okay, that fascia is starting at the bottom here and it's a 200 fascia. Is it wat is die fascia se grootte? 200. Scale 1 to 20. Oh, there it is. Okay, there's the fascia. Sorry, there's actually beam filling here. I keep forgetting that part. So this wall is going to go up to underneath there. Up to underneath that. Okay, there's my roof sheeting. Do a double line. Okay, then our purlins. The first one is right here. 75. What's the center to center spacing on that purlin? 750. 750, that's 700 right there. Another one. Julle moet nou stop as jy 'n stap gemis het, maar ek neem aan jy bly by. Okay, there's the purlin. Okay, on this roof, so that one doesn't work out, there's an X, there's an X, you don't have to do it by hand, please don't do it by hand. Alright, then there's a 114 by 38 right here also. Okay, then they say that this post, queen post, is 1,225, so let's measure that quickly. From this corner, you see it's going to fit in here, sien julle dit? Ja of nee? Jy het dit gesien?
Nee.
Ja, my sien.
Daai drie lyntjies, die compact cores en die daai ander goeders, dis met drie lyntjies van 45 grade daaronder.
Ja.
Kan mens dit ook vry aan doen?
Ja. Ja. Okay, there's a part of this roof truss that's missing here. They don't specify it specifically, but do you remember when we practiced this? We have another one like that. You remember that? Okay, so it's this that we still have to enter here. Now you could go work out, it's another 1,200 to the other center, so just a construction line, and then you go either side of it. Okay, and you end against that. Okay, then at the bottom is our branding. The branding, did I say the spacing? Help gou uit mense, jou ceiling. Kyk gou terwyl julle kyk gaan ek so teken. There's a 30, definitely a 38 by 38 right here in the corner. And anybody found it? If it's not said, keep it to 400. Okay, every 400 you're going to do a center to center branding here. Alright, 38 by 38. This is what you will definitely get. They won't, well, chances are, they won't ask you a complete roof, the full roof, but they will definitely ask you an end like this. Now, if I look, a couple of things, we're not finished yet. If I look in the direction of the arrows, do you see, I will see at the bottom, I'll see that back fascia. So there's a fascia running this way, and then that fascia turns. Remember in the previous video, we also saw that. So that line, please don't forget it. Moet dit asseblief nie vergeet nie. Daar's 'n lyn daar. Jy verstaan hoekom? Okay? And they want you to add the gutter in as well. That in width is 150, I believe, by 100. It's this gutter that I'm drawing in here that you're actually seeing wrapping around there. Are you with me? Nee? And look at this, if you see here, there's no rainwater downpipe there. Soos hier so het hulle 'n reënwater afvoerpyp met 'n gully. If there was one here, you would have had to draw that entire gutter down, but there's nothing there. There's no gutter that runs down there, so you can leave that. The second last thing before we wrap it up is your 45 degrees. That needs to be inserted here. So please make sure there's at least one here at the below the foundation height, and then you make a mark on your, if you need to, make your mark there, and you keep that spacing going to the top. And you see there, I'm spacing it nice and big so that I don't waste time doing hatching here. I want to finish because our time is up. It's like in the exam. I want to optimize my mark. So what do you have to make sure? You have to make sure that this hatching covers all parts. Okay? Selfs daai boonste gedeelte. We've got, if we go through here, we've got our roof sheeting, we've got our purlins, evenly spaced as they say, center to center. We've got gutter fascia, wraparound, branding, wall plate, ceiling, the roof truss completely drawn. Okay, we've got one thing missing here, two things missing. There's again concrete, okay, finished floor level, natural ground level, compacted full. That's all right. But if I look in this direction of that arrow, what do I see? Do you see I'm still seeing this and I'm still seeing that door? So, thank you very much. Over here, you can use your measurements. Remember scale 1 to 50, that's about 400. So back to scale 1 to 20. You're going to come back here, go 400. Then there's an 800 door. Okay, and then right next to it, there's an actual kitchen cabinet that's 900 in height. Kitchen cabinets are always 900 in height if they don't give that to you. So you have to, that end of that cupboard, here we're going to go up till 200, up till 200, and we're just drawing the door for us. Okay, you can just draw a single line. If you have time, draw the double line. Alright, let's zoom out and let's just look at what is drawn here. Alright, so in this session we've looked at the elevation and the sectional elevation, which is two key components. The floor plan, I'm sure you should absolutely nail it. Make sure that when you look at your cutting plane, in the direction of the arrows, what do I see? I see that door, I see this end. If you look there, I'm seeing that end of that shelf. So I have to draw that in my own section. Plus the door, we didn't do the window because that section is outside of the window. And make sure you insert your damp-proof course, finished floor level and natural ground level and all hatching. Rightio, that's an overview of 336. Now it's your turn.